Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the new Brutal Swing Absol in the, what's called Scroll Cup. Scroll Cup it is. Still here for a few more days. And then we're going to have the Great League, Ultra League, as well as the Master League back again at the same time, which is going to be kind of nice. I can't wait to play the Great League again, because last time I actually wasn't able to showcase all the Pokemon that I wanted to showcase, so there's still a lot of Pokemon that I want to give a try. Anyway, today we want to take a look at the new Brutal Swing variant of the Absol. And we are gonna give this Pokemon now the fast move of Psycho Cut, because my first intention for this team was to build the fastest team possible. And then I realized in this specific cup, it's not possible to run a team like this. You saw me doing this in the Open Great League quite often, which I might do again for the season as well. But I am not going to be able to do it in this cup. Main reason for this is there is no Pokemon in the current meta game that is going to have basically a great timing with the fast move. So like you need something that needs 8 turns basically to like 8 turns, like 4 fast moves for like Psycho Cut, for example, to get to the charge move. And there are only really Pokemon that are going to be weak to Mud Slappers. Like the best one, I guess, is Greninja, which you have to bring in anyway. Any other Pokemon is going to be really weak to Mud Slappers, and yeah, Absol is not really a Pokemon that can carry teams. But that being said, I actually had some great games today with Absol. And we also had some games where I definitely could have won if I played it a bit better, so hopefully you're going to see them here today as well. But there's going to be one game later on where I would like you to stay tuned for as well, where I was able to completely sweep an entire team just with Absol. Which seems ridiculous, because yeah, like this Pokemon is absolutely paper thin. I don't know exactly on what the stats for this Pokemon are, but I think, like, let me tell you, it won CMP tie against Morpeko, which already is kinda telling on how squishy this Pokemon is, because Morpeko is one of the Pokemon with the highest attack stat in the Great League currently. And that's still viable as well, of course. And you still easily win CMP tie against Pokemon with the Absol, which is kinda mad. But anyway, taking a look here at the battle. We're going to have a Jellicent against us. I would like to get them kinda low, that I'm maybe going to be able to fully farm them down. I tried to CMP tie here against the opponent, which doesn't work out, but we're going to get the shield from them as they're going to go for another Shadow Ball. And now we're going to have our Absol in action. We have one target already for this one, and we're going to have here Toxapex in the back, which is not directly a target, but because we had some energy stored still on the Gastrodon, we're going to be able to go for another charge move here, which was really needed. I should have swapped out a little bit earlier. But what I actually secured here by swapping out at this pacing is I still have a Brutal Swing for later on for the Jellicent, even though I don't think I really need it. And here I just cannot fully farm them down because I know they will not get to another move. And Brutal Swing, of course, going to get us our first victory with Absol. So yeah, for me, the raid day is gonna start at the point of recording in 2.5 hours. Usually on this channel, I would stay awake and try to get like invites from the earlier time reasons. Like, yeah, that's not really possible for me in my current day-to-day life anymore. So you see them in the next day. Hopefully it's still okay. If you still enjoy those type of showcases where I showcase new Pokemon as soon as I can get them, would really appreciate if you leave a like on this video. Like for me, usually like those events start somewhere like 2 AM my time in New Zealand and stuff like this. Like I cannot really stay awake until this point, because most of the times I have to wake up quite early in the morning, and this just doesn't work out. I basically get 0 sleep then. So as you'll see, we're going to have Brayon against us. We're going to be able to go for the Mud Slap, and I really hope that Absol is going to have a great time here now. As Alka is coming through, we're going to try our best to fully farm them down. We get a ton of energy. Can we knock out another Pokemon? In comes the Gustlord. And goodbye, Lostheart. I didn't want to take another hit here from them as well. And so you have 2 KOs with Absol. Is there something in the back that we can beat? No, absolutely not. That was a pun that I didn't actually want to have as a pun. But we can move on. And now to the next opponent. Gastrodon into the Sableye. This is going to be a matchup where I can stay in for a little bit, but it's a bit risky. To be fair, what is the ideal play here in my opinion is what I didn't do here, but I only really thought about it now, is to go for 3 fast moves with your Gastrodon and then swap out. Why is this the case? Because you're going to be able to get some damage onto the Sableye. That's going to put them into foul play range for your own Sableye, where you can still take a foul play. But also, with you swapping out there, you're going to align yourself with the fast moves against them. And I do believe it's going to be maybe actually just go for 1 fast move now thinking about it, because otherwise they have the potential to win the CMP tie against you. You're going to have like same pacing against them then, but they have the potential of winning the CMP tie. Yeah, super unfortunate that they survived this with 1 HP. I think if they didn't survive this with 1 HP, I definitely would have had a solid play here, but let's see what they're going to have in the deck. I'm going to go straight for the yeah, charge move here, and sadly, yeah, there's going to be the Gastrodon. That is going to be a bit tricky, especially as they use a shield, and I would have been able to get a lot of damage in there if they didn't survive this one with the Toxapex there. But, yeah, that's the thing as well with Absol. Well, you have a very high attack stat. You cannot really utilize it that much unless you get to like something hard-hitting like the Mega Horn or the Thunder. I thought about running Thunder on this Pokemon as well, but I feel like there are more targets for Mega Horn in this meta compared to Thunder, because if you run Thunder, you're getting completely hard-walled. You cannot do anything against Gastrodon, like absolutely nothing, and there are a lot of Dark-type Pokemon currently around, so I cannot try to counter them with that. Absolutely amazing lead, and they swap out into the Gallade. And here's the funny thing about this matchup: you're actually going to be able to win this one and end up with an Earth Power. You don't believe me? Let's watch this one. We're going to be able to just go for the full farm now. They tried to Steam Pita here because they know they would try to go for a Body Slam to knock them out. But no, we're not going to do this. And because they actually have good IVs, it's kind of awkward because they got an extra Charmin, which I rather don't like to see. But let's see what they have in the back. They have the Chestnut. That is going to be a bit of a problem, and I actually remember this battle, and I am very sorry for this battle, because I could have definitely played this one better. And you will see why I say that. Let's hop on to the Morpeko. All good, I can go for a foul play. They're definitely going to have to use a shield here, because guess what? They don't want to get hit by a Dazzling Gleam. Never mind. Completely wrong. If I went for the Dazzling Gleam, game over. That being said, I go into the Gastrodon, I get them low, I get the KO, which I didn't expect, and I tried to swap out of here. I had the Body Slam. I could have went for the Body Slam, and if I went for the Body Slam, I would have definitely won the battle. Like, there is nothing that they could have done there to win the battle for themselves, because Body Slam definitely would have done enough damage, or got the shield, and then Brutal Swing would have done enough damage, so I count this as a win, just if I had my head in there a little bit more. But we have another try here for the next battle, so that's going to be an interesting one. Oh, this is going to be a very long battle. So, yeah, we're going to have here the Mantine coming in, which is a matchup that I need to kind of realign myself in. But Sableye is doing a great job having double stab on their moves, and yeah, very nice and hard-hitting moves there as well, which Mantine really lacks. Like, Mantine, like, you're so used to having like Wing Attack being super fast, that is such a weird feeling to play against Mantine nowadays, because it's so slow to get to the moves, which is most likely for the better, because I feel like Flying types were a bit too strong with the Wing Attack change. But yeah, here I tried to catch the move, that didn't work out. But we're in such a bad spot now. Like, literally, we're in such a bad spot. I don't understand the team from the opponent, by the way, because, like, what do you want to do against those Charm users here? You have a Dark-type lead, Dark-type in the back. I guess, I don't know. Like, I guess it's actually still okay in this type of meta, to be fair, because if you think about it, you have Gallade, which is weak to the fast move of Mandibus. And you have Brayon, which is weak to the first move of Morpeko. So, like, I guess you can, like, argument there that you can play around it. Here we're going to have now our Absol. And you might think this game is going to be lost at this point. And you might be correct with that. And so, we decide to go for the hard-hitting Mega Horn and get the shield. They go for the charge move, and to be fair, I kind of lost hope here at this point. I kind of lost hope of us winning this battle still. Because, like, I couldn't really see a way of us winning this one. We have a lot of energy here, but they can go for a charge move. It's very likely the Poison Fang, the Psychic Fangs there, by the way. It is, because they know that they kind of need to have better pacing against me, because they know that I have the potential of going for the Dazzling Gleam. But not only this, they are going to now be able to knock out our Gastrodon, knowing that they had a ton of energy. I knew that this hour wheel will come eventually. And so, what is my plan here? I had to go for the KO, but also I had to overfarm by just a tiny bit, because otherwise, there's no way I can get to the Dazzling Gleam before the opponent's Mandalas. Can we outspeed them? We absolutely can. This is a CMP tie. This is a definitely KOing move, and we can now move on to the next opponent. So, let's see, Mandibus. That is going to be a matchup we actually decided to go into my Absol. Mandibus is kind of more the most awkward Pokemon for us to deal with, but you know, it's kind of funny. People underestimate the spamminess of this Pokemon here. Brutal Swing. I'm gonna chip it a little bit. I know that a Mega Horn doesn't knock them out from full health anyway, so I'd rather want to go for the bait, just to knock them out straight away afterwards. And so, at the end of the day, we end up in a scenario again still where we're going to face off against a Mandibus. But at least we're going to be able to do a little bit of damage here with Brutal Swing. If you wonder why didn't I go for the Mega Horn, I just rather want to have guaranteed damage instead of, risking them going for a charge move, because charge moves are not the biggest issue for me, because I have a 3-turn fast move of Gastrodon. So every single time the opponent tries to go for a charge move here, they're gonna give me a free fast move, and that is totally fine because I'm a bulky boy, and the snail here is going to be able to definitely carry me. They go for the foul play, and they're gonna swap out into the Gastrodon. They're getting a bit frustrated here. That is fine by me. I can go for the Earth Power. This is going to allow us to get very likely the shield, and I can go into my Sableye. So, can Sableye win this battle for us? I should have called the bait here. It's quite an obvious bait. They go for the Body Slam, and that is going to be very difficult. And now I thought, should I went for the Dazzling Beam? I'm fairly certain that Dazzling Beam does more damage, because Dazzling Beam is, I think, 55 energy and 90 damage, which means you do more damage for sure than a foul play does. So I would have been able to basically save the shield here in hindsight, and I think this would have most likely won me the battle. Which is kind of sad, but again, that's the thing as well. Like, if you play with Absol, you cannot do a mistake. Like, it is, like, if you, as soon as you have a mistake in there, game is over. Next up, Gastro against Gastro. That is going to be an interesting one. So, here's the thing. Do we go for Earth Power? Do we go for Body Slam? What is our choice? We go for a shield, it's gonna be a Body Slam. We go for the Body Slam. Do they gonna go for a shield? They don't. Completely missed the matchup here already. So, good job me. I don't have a ground resist, so I cannot swap out into anything to catch an Earth Power. And so I could have used the shield here and found them down, but because my backline is so squishy, I rather get the energy here on my Sableye and leave with a foul play stored instead of being 2 shields down. In comes the Morpeko. I expect that they would mostly want to swap out eventually, because they know that I'm going to be able to outspeed them now and KO them with a Dazzling Gleam. But as you're gonna see here, we're gonna have to use a shield. They're very likely gonna swap out very soon. It's gonna be the Psychic Wings again. Great bait from the opponent, but they know of course what I need to do here in order to win. And they go into the Annihilate, and I swap out into my Absol. And you might think, why does he do that? That doesn't make sense. And you're damn right, but it doesn't matter, because guess what? Absol is going to be able to win us this battle with a Mega Horn. And no, this is not the sweep game that I said, because Absol only took 2 KOs here. There's still going to be a battle where Absol is going to be able to destroy an entire team, so don't worry about that. What you maybe want to worry with this team, but I know that nobody is going to copy this team anyway, this is just for fun. There's, by the way, going to be a very serious team coming up later on this channel, so if you want to have a climbing team, also for the Scroll Cup, I would really appreciate if you would leave a like and subscribe, because with a subscription, you would be able to get notified for any kind of new video. Anyway, we're going to be able to go for a shield here, which is going to allow us to survive that Ice Beam. Of course, we would have rather wanted to see here the Play Rough, but Ice Beam is only a tiny bit cheaper, and I would expect that they may be even going to use a shield here because they want to get rid of my energy, but also mostly of my Sableye. But I'm not going to deal with it. I'm just going to go for a back-to-back foul play, wasting both their shield as well as their health, and what I'm going to do here is I'm over-farming by a lot to confuse the opponent's Lantern. And this is going to work out absolutely perfectly, because all of a sudden our Sableye is going to be able to go for a foul play here, and we're going to be able to let the move go through. I should go now into my Absol if I play it correctly, which I do, and they go into the Mandibus. Can we still win this? I am not too sure. Mega Horn is coming through. They let the move go through. I'm going to catch the move. Maybe my win con is the Absol? Let's find out here. We're going to have the Aerial Ace. This is going to get us low. And honestly, I'm not too sure if an Earth Power does more damage than the Body Slam. I have no idea. Let me know down below. I honestly don't know. I know one is double resisted, but one is way more in terms of the damage that it has plus its stab. So I have no idea if a Body Slam or an Earth Power does total damage. It's not damage percentage. Of course, Body Slam is going to be better for that one. But total damage, I could actually see that Earth Power would have been better. Does it matter? Maybe. If we would have been able to knock him out here with a Brutal Swing? Maybe. But anyway, we're going to move on to the battle. The battle of the Absol. So, Gastron against Gastron. We had this matchup before already. The opponents went always kind of for Body Slam, and so I decided to let the move go through, which works out perfectly. They go for the Body Slam, I go for the Earth Power, everything is fine. This is going to allow us to get the shield from them, and I can swap out into my Sableye. Sableye is going to be able to use a shield as well. I don't know why I said so weird. But yeah, we're going to be able to now get out the opponent's Toxapex, and you see already, it all kind of fits into place. We all kind of try to do one thing. Set up Absol. And this is going to be an interesting one because I wanted to showcase Absol here, and of course it makes a lot of sense here right now to go ahead and go into my Gastrodon, trying to win with that Pokemon, and that's what I'm gonna do here as well, but I'm gonna let the move go through because I want to win this with Absol. And so Brian is coming through, they're gonna swap out into their own Gastrodon, which is fine, and everything kinda starts fading into place. We're gonna get them low, I can go into my Absol, I'm going for a Brutal Swing here as well, and I don't know what they tried to do here. I think they just thought that they would still survive some fast moves, but they don't. And so we're going to be able to go for the full farm down. One done. Who's going to be next? It's going to be Morpeko. I don't think they are now my pacing here, and they definitely don't. Super effective Mega Horn. Goodbye Morpeko. And goodbye Toxapex. And this was the sweep with Absol. Hopefully you have a great day today. Not an important Pokemon at all for anything, but still have some fun, and I will see you then. Bye bye.